की अंतर्प्रेरणा। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ, मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ, मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क, बस इतना सा। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया।
Hello and namaste, everyone. I'm Sayoni on behalf of Fran Global. It's a pleasure to welcome all of you, our participants, team members, people who have taken out time and shown interest to the Master Franchise Summit. Just to brief a bit about Fran Global, it is the international arm of Franchise India. We exclusively work with international brands across the globe. And I'm sure you know Franchise India is the largest franchising facilitator in the business of Asia since 26 years now. The recent rising trend in global franchising world has been such that many global brands have now embraced master franchising as a key strategy for international expansion, leveraging local expertise to navigate diverse markets. Master franchising has proven to be an effective means of rapidly penetrating new and emerging markets. It allows brands to grow their presence quickly without the need for extensive direct investment. It is widely adopted across various industries, including fast food, retail, hospitality, education, and service sectors. As you already know, some of the most recognized international brands like Subway, KFC, McDonald's, Starbucks, and many more have achieved global success through master franchising, adapting their models to local preferences and cultures. Master franchising contributes to the economic growth of both the franchisor's home country and the countries where master franchisees operate. It stimulates local economies by creating jobs and business opportunities. This franchising model has led to a significant increase in the number of franchise units worldwide, thereby bringing franchising as a more popular and viable option of business expansion. This growth is attributed to the scalability and efficiency of the master franchising approach. Successful master franchising systems often involve a high degree of adaptation to local markets, encompassing variations in products, marketing strategies, and operational practices. For franchisors, master franchising helps mitigate risks associated with unfamiliar markets. Master franchisees, being locals, are better positioned to navigate regulatory, cultural, and economic challenges. The focus of master franchising has expanded to include emerging markets where there is growing middle class and increasing consumer demand for international brands. Let's look at India now. Presently, India is the second largest franchise market globally. The Indian franchise industry is valued at around 800 billion rupees and is expected to continue growing in the coming years at a rate of 30-35% per annum, said a report titled Fran Cast White Paper on Franchise Forecast 23-24. And since Indian franchise market is still nascent, it provides the perfect scope and opportunities for big brands to explore this untapped gold mine of an emerging market. Today, we are so glad to have with us brands from different corners of the world to present excellent master franchise opportunities in India, namely Smoothie Factory, Sweet Factory, Good Call. Smoothie Factory is US's fastest growing franchise of health and wellness cafe, the most prominent juice bar franchise that serves smoothies, juices, frozen yogurt, and healthy snacks. The brand was founded in 1996 by James Vilasna, a high-level athlete who wanted healthy food. Smoothie Factory offers customizable smoothies with low sugar and clean recipes. The world loves smoothies, and so do we in India. I call upon Mr. Rahul Sharma, representative of Smoothie Factory India, to take over. Please, Rahul Sharma.
Thank you, Sunny, and good evening, everyone. Good evening from India as well as from the international. So when I said about this smoothie, can you, Sritaram, can you just share the screen? Yeah. Yeah, so next slide. So guys, India, when I said a smoothie factory, the basic definition of this brand is health and wellness cafe. I always tell to my partners, especially the franchisee partner who want to start something in Indian market, because Indian market is completely versatile. If someone want to start, they always think about the current as well as the future perspective. Ki what is India? India is divided into a two segment. I can say because everyone has saw about this what is called the COVID period. India is divided into two parts, before COVID and post COVID. Before COVID, anyone can go to any brand, they want to eat any product, and they say, yeah, this is a healthy and this is my wealthy product. But post COVID, the thought process of Indians are completely changed. They love to eat first call as a healthier product, and the second, they always consider ki what I am eating it should be a brandable, and it should be one of the most important thing is healthy and the well. Because if you are in F&B business, if you want to take any franchisee in F&B, especially the two segment play an important role. The first is called the what is the USP. It is related to your healthier because right now because everyone see if your health is good, you can do whatever you want to do it. The second, what supports you want to take from the brand. So Smoothie Factory, next slide. The Smoothie Factory started in 1996 from US. Currently, they are running 250 plus store, 20 plus country. What is the unique concept and the menu offering? So when I said a unique concept is health and wellness cafe. In Indian market, if you comparing all the brands, there is no single brand which is established player and working as a health and wellness category. If I consider if I want to start something and if I get an opportunity to start in a 25 lakh rupees in a QSR, or if I want to start some standalone or where the people can come, they can hang out in 30 to 35 lakh rupees, and especially international brand, I can say the Smoothie Factory is your first option. Next slide. And in terms of the offering, when someone is coming as a franchisee, what support we are giving to them? They will not worried about the location. The location support is always from a brand side or from our master franchisee. The second is called as the hiring and the training of the staff. Because in F&B business, hiring and training play an important role. When I said hiring and training, the franchisee owner will not worry who will take care of the hiring, who will take care of the training. We will do a 360-degree training to all the employee who is working under your store. The meaning of that sentence, except the cleaning boy, if someone is know how to do a billing, they can also know how to make a product. That is the reason there is a no dependency on a single person. The third most important point is the supply chain. When I say the supply chain, because in F&B business, the two things play an important role. One is called as the perishable category, another is called the non-perishable category. In both the category, the products are supplied by us to their respective store. The franchisee owner will not worry. Yeah, if I want to take any international brand, can I get a product from international or can I get a product from India? I can say you will get a product from, on your store. The fourth most important part is the marketing activity. Because guys, whatever you can take it, if you're not involving in the local store marketing, you will not grow your business. So that is the reason the brand will take care of the national marketing, the local marketing. We are divided into a two segment. When I said a two segment, the meaning of that is that the first is the initial launch activity that is taken care by us. So we will take care of the launch activity, whatever is required, that is supported by us. In terms of the local store, when the products are when your store is running, then we can do the a lot of other activity that is included by our area developer as well as the unit franchise. Next slide. Apart from that thing, we have the most important part is called as the project management. So when I said a project management, we have a key team member who are present from the brand side, Mr. Paul, who is the master franchisee of India, Jeet Patel, who is the operation head of an India, and James, who is the founder and the CEO of this smoothie factory. Next slide. Apart from that thing, we have a franchise India team, who is the master franchise, Mr. Gaurav Maria, Venus Barak, because everyone know about Gaurav Maria because he's the chairman and the founder of the franchise India. Venus Barak, who is the part of the Frank Global team, and myself, Rahul Sharma, who is leading this brand across Pan. If anyone is coming in a smoothie factory, first of all, their thought process, their support system will always taken care by. He will not worried about anything else. So we have a team who can take care of the operational activity. I have a team who will support in the project management. I have a team who can also support in the marketing activity. So that is the reason 360-degree support is taken care by the franchise India team. Next slide. Why it is more important? Because healthy food concept is the one of the major USP of Indian brand. Everyone say, "Yaar, mujhe yoga karna hai." Everyone say, "Ki I want to remain as a fit." I don't want to eat any unhealthy product. That is the reason Smoothie Factory is providing a varieties of product. So here the two segments are there. One is called as, we can say, as a beverages item, other is called as a food item. When I said a beverages, we have a smoothie, we have a juice, we have a shakes, iced tea, coffee. Then we have a food item as a grab and the Indian menu. So when I said an Indian menu, we have a super food balls, which is the most important thing. And what we are keeping it. So when someone says unhealthy, it rather than it is only related to a one single product, it is not related to a single billing. We are doing a omni-channel presence. The meaning of that sentence, omni-channel presence, if you are opening a single store, customer which is coming to your store is doing the billing. Apart from that, you are also billing through an online, through our online aggregator. The third most important is the tie-up, because it is a health and wellness cafe. So where you can open your store near to a gym, mall, high street. If someone is, if your store is near to gym, you can do the tie-up with them monthly. You can do a subscription model. So from there, you can earn your income. The fourth source of income is your ODC, outdoor catering services. That is also supported by an international brand. Not if I consider an ODC, there is a lot of brand in Indian market who is not present in the ODC, even in the international brand. But the Smoothie Factory is offering as an ODC compound also. Next slide. We are not using any preservative. This is the another USP of our Smoothie Factory. We are using a natural ingredient. That is the reason our products are fresh. We are also keeping a 3 to 6 day shelf life. If someone wants to make your body grow, so we have a program-based product. So someone say, okay, Rahul, I want to just make my skin glow. I want to reduce my weight. I want to gain some weight. So we have a program-based juices are also available where the shelf life is 3 to 6 days. Next slide. Next. So these are the juice cleaning program which I said. We have a varieties of coffee. Next slide we can go. We can directly go to our the investment part. That will be easy for now. Okay, just stop. So this is the design concept. And again, guys, I want to just give a little bit background about the Smoothie Factory India, what we did right now and what was there. So before COVID, Smoothie Factory India have a two outlet where both stores are running in Mumbai. But post-COVID, August 2023, they entered into Indian market. And by the God grace, I said India is divided into two parts because post-COVID, India is more dominant about health and wealthy product. So we have created a 5 master franchisees and 11 units are already signed. And that is only possible because of the Franchise India team who is working with me. The most important, every franchisee or any area developer which is coming with us, we are giving a 360-degree support. So being a franchisee owner, you have an option to take a master franchisee or an area developer for some particular territory, which is available right now. And even we are open for a unit franchisee across India. Next slide. So guys, we have a two model. One is called as a kiosk. When I said a kiosk, the meaning of that sentence is the takeaway model. And this model is only workable in your food court, a college, or maybe a university area. And the area requirement for a kiosk will be around 100, say 300 square feet is more than sufficient. Next slide. Then we call as an express model, or we can say as a standalone model, where the people can come, they can hang out their family member. This model will be workable on a high speed. The area requirement for this such model will be 400 to 700 square feet. In 400 to 700 square feet, we can keep a sitting arrangement of 12 to 20 sitting. Next slide. This is basically a tradition model. When I said an express or tradition, both are same in Indian market because depending upon the space that will be increased. The fit out cost for this traditional or express model will be 30 say 35 lakh rupees. For a kiosk model, the investment will be 20 say 25 lakh rupees. Next slide. Next. So guys, why we are what is our experience? What we are best as compared to any other brand? So the localized menu, which is the most important thing, unique product offering, because India is divided into a various states. If you went to south, if we have a south taste. If you want to go to the, especially I'm talking about a food menu. If you go to north, they have a different taste. So we can localize the menu. Unique product offering, no fryer, minimal waste. This is the most, no minimal waste, meaning that the wastage of product is almost zero. Ongoing support, so we will take care of day-to-day support also. The proven training program, multiple revenue center. When I said a multiple revenue, you are not dependent upon the customer which is coming to your store. We have an online billing, we have an ODC concept, we are also a subscription model. So no other brand is providing us such thing. Next slide. So the support and system will remain same. What I told you, we are taking care of a scratch to the operation. And when I said an operation, the meaning of that sentence, my team will be present in your with you till the single product is available on your shop. So my team will be there. The franchise India team will be there, who will assist you, who will support you from day one to the last. Next slide. Next. Next, we can go directly go to the investment part because time constraint. Yeah. So guys, when I said the investment, I said there's a two model. One is called as the takeaway, another is called as the standalone. For a takeaway model, the investment will be around 20, say 25 lakh rupees. Here the agreement period is a 10-year. Every 10 years, the renewal of an agreement. For a standalone, where the space requirement of 400 to 600, the agreement period again is for a 10 years, and there will be a investment is 30 to 35 lakh rupees. Because you understand one thing, when you are entering into an F&B business, the royalty play an important role. We are charging 8% royalty, out of which 2% is used in the national marketing. So that is the reason brand is supporting on the marketing part. You will not worry here who will take care of the national marketing. The brand will take care of that activity. Next slide. Okay. You can just close your screen. So guys, apart from that thing, we are also available for a master franchisee. If someone wants to take a master franchisee or an area developer, we are ready to discuss on that price. Because if someone wants to become our area developer, so we will take care of all the activity. There is a revenue sharing with them. We can discuss separately. And they can also make a lot of money from a various process. So when there is a royalty collection, the supply chain, the fit out. So currently in India, we have opened for a lot, we are open for the master franchisee for a various territory, and again we are open for a unit franchisee. Our thought is very much clear. We want to open almost 100 store in next financial year 2024. And for any support, you can reach to me, you can reach to Business X, you can reach to Franchise India, or you can reach to Friend Global, or you can reach to Smoothie Factory India team. We are happy to discuss. We are love to discuss about your thought process. For me, money is not an important factor. For me, the franchisee thought is an important factor. How we can work together, how we can grow together. It is the thought process for a Smoothie Factory India. And that is the reason in 3 months we have created 11 franchisees, and we are also supporting into a various stores. So we are opening our store in a various. So we are opening in Delhi, Ahmedabad, Surat, Mumbai, Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad. We are opening our store in next 3 months. So anyone who are a part of our this journey, they can make a huge success. And this is the time. If you want to take any international brand and you want to start in a cafe business, I would suggest you can take as a Smoothie Factory as a first choice. Thank you so much, Sevani. Thank you so much, Siddharam, for giving me an opportunity to.
Thank you so much, Rahul. This is really extensive. I think we have a question on the question board. Mr. Srihari is asking, do we have a distribution model as well for this brand?
So basically, in this business, distribution model is not workable because if you see, because we are making all the things fresh. So it is a franchisee model where we are opening exclusive branded outlet, and we have a two model. One is called as a kiosk, which is open into a mall or maybe a university or college, and the another is called as a standalone where we can open on a high street. In future, we are introducing the general trade product. Then the first preference will always give us to my master franchisee or area developer who is associated with us. If any territory is available, if they say, I'm not interested to take this product as a general trade, then I can allow to some other franchisee who can take that product and do the general trade business.
Great. I think more questions coming up. I will probably email across and we will help you connect with them directly.
Thank you, Saini. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rahul.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Next up is Sweet Factory, and we welcome the team to today's webinar. We have with us Lisa Rosen, the MD of Sweet Factory, Mr. Anupam Srivastav, International Franchising Consultant from Dubai, and Mr. Ashok, our strategy consultant from Friend Global. Sweet Factory was founded in 1986 in UK and is currently the world's leading brand for pick and mix sweets. Having tasted over 30 years of global success, Sweet Factory now plans to enter the India market. There are halal, vegan, vegetarian treats for everyone and thousands of mouth-watering sweets to choose from. Sweet and sour jellies, marshmallows, fudge-coated fruits and nuts, chocolate treats, hard candy, and gift items are some of the top products of Sweet Factory. And just saying this is making my mouth water. So without further ado, I will now welcome Lisa Rosen, the Sweet Factory, and the managing director of the brand, of course, and Anupamji to contribute.
Thank you so much for the introduction. Yes, definitely mouth-watering. I've been doing this for 27 years and I still haven't got bored of all the sweets that I sell. So can you please share your screen and then I will start the presentation. Let's see if I can. One second. So as was mentioned earlier, we are the world's leading pick and mix sweet franchise retail chain. A little bit about us then. We are a UK brand. And as mentioned earlier, we started in 86 in the UK and we have spread throughout the globe thereafter. The key to our success is the quality of products, the design of the retail outlets. When we say outlets, it could be shops, kiosks, concession units. We'll talk about that a little bit more later. The durability of the equipment. We believe to spend a little bit extra money on them so they look fantastic because that's your marketing tool as well. It's fun, colorful, and vibrant. We focus a lot on service and hygiene because it is a food item as well. As was mentioned, we are all over the globe and excited to go into India now as well. Eat sweets, be happy. This is our slogan, which I think everybody becomes a little bit happier, a little bit more energetic when they have some sweets. So it is truly a sweet franchise opportunity. So it's a very easy concept to operate. It's a one price format. So you pick your sweets and you pay according to the weight. It's a large selection of sweets, so we try also to cater into local taste buds as well. So we do adjust our product range for local sort of tastes and trends as well. And it's also a wide customer base. I think a lot of people are under the impression that our customers are only children or preteens and teens, which is not the case at all. About 70% of our customers are adults. So there's high growth potential, good profit margins, and it's a turnkey business and it's very easy to set up. So we can go into flexible retail environments, multiple venues. We'll show you a little bit more about the different shop fittings that we have as well. It's vibrant, as I mentioned earlier, attractive, high quality sweets. It's very flexible with the product range again. You can pick from the CNF agent that we will have locally available in India. There's no advertising because your kiosk is the advert itself. So it's more of an impulse purchase. So our vision is to continue to grow as the global leader in pick and mix sweets, customer-oriented, prime location, expanding in other countries through close partnership with our franchisees throughout the globe. So we focus a lot on customer service to enhance the experience. The product is only as great as the person that sells it as well. So we have friendly staff, knowledgeable, that knows what they're selling, what the product is from, ingredients, allergy concerns, etc. Courteous and efficient as well. So the transactions will go fast, so the customer can start enjoying their sweets as soon as possible. So teamwork at every stage is what we focus on as well. So we do a lot of back-end training as well. Professionalism. So if you see in this picture, there are 3 staff. One is stocking the sweets, One is helping the customer, one is on the till, just to have a smooth experience and transactions for all the customers. So we have a global website, which also under that website, we also have country pages as well, which we mention or state all the new stores that are opening up, a little bit of information about the franchisee in that country as well. So then why the Sweet Factory? We have almost 3 decades of experience. We have full support in terms of training for the sales staff, the back-end staff, financial planning, and it's a long-term strategy. From site selection, this is what is the main key to success. You are as successful as many eyeballs that are on your kiosk. So you need to be in a high footfall environment to be successful. You can be in the best mall in the world, but if you don't have a great location within that mall, you're not going to succeed. So site selection is what we emphasize a lot on. Financial planning is what we do with our franchisees as well. So we want both of our sort of goals to be achieved. We are only successful when we are doing planning together. To operations with our CNF agents, to retail environments. So there's different retail environments. There are kiosks, inline stores, and Sweet Factory Plus stores. I'll show you a few now. So these are the concession units. They can go into events, schools, airports, railway stations, etc. So they can be very compact. As you see, the middle one, that's in the Victoria Station in London. So it's very compact, as a roller shutter that goes down in the evening when it closes. And we have kiosks. This is usually what we place in the middle of the aisles in the malls. So they are very convenient. Obviously, a lot of people passing by. So you have a lot of visibility within the mall to create those impulse purchases. This is an inline store. There can be anything from 20 square meters up to 50, where you can also merchandise slush, softer ice cream, more pre-packed items, and also flavored popcorn as well. There's something that we tried in one of our stores that were very successful. These are some of the product groups, but I'm sure everybody are aware of these different product groups. They are always going to be old favorites and new sort of fads in the market as well. At the moment, the sour, super sour sweets are the fastest moving for us. We source our products from US and Europe. We are flexible to the product range, to the market needs, as I mentioned earlier. So there's going to be a lot of old traditional sweets with the latest sort of fads in the market. So now is sour. So we found sour mango, and we have a sour raspberry now that is the fastest moving. Competitive prices due to volume that we buy throughout the globe. Here are a few pictures of the sweets. We believe in transparency, so all the containers will have full product details in terms of ingredients, production expiry date, and country of origin, etc. In local languages or only in English, depending on the market needs. And you see here is a V, that means that it's vegetarian as well. This is something we decided for India to only merchandise vegan and vegetarian sweets. This will set us apart from the competition also in India. So in terms of training and support, we do a lot of training for the sales staff, first and foremost. Induction training and ongoing training, meaning cross-selling, upselling, or whatever the need might be for that territory at that point of time. We also do training for the back of house, meaning the financials, and also for operation managers as well. So then the continuous support is the POS training with integrated inventory management, staff scheduling according to the market needs as well, merchandising manuals for the staff to follow, and branding guidelines. We'll talk about that a little more later in the presentation as well, and sales technique, cross-selling, upselling again. Here is a little bit about our branding, the brand application is a brand inventory and a brand application manual, to uniforms, to the franchisee webpage, the landing page, as I mentioned earlier. So the requirements to become a Sweet Factory franchisee, previous retail experience is a plus, not a it's not necessary, as it is a very easy concept to start and to also operate. So the candidates will be evaluated based on experience and personal drive as to why is Sweet Factory a brand that interests you. The terms and conditions of the agreement is based on the three variables as size of territory, number of planned outlets, and duration of the agreements. These are a few materials that we are providing. They are more. Operation manual, financial planning, ongoing financial planning, staff handouts, which is your induction training, but in a booklet. Corporate collateral as your brand inventory, brand application, etc. The stock reporting, and all the admin forms that you will need to run a smooth operation. Thank you very much for your interest in Sweet Factory.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you for the presentation. Guys, my name is Anupam Shrivastava, and I'm based in Abu Dhabi, UAE. We are the ones who would be doing the pre-qualification selection of all the interested franchise partners. So just to give you a little brief of what our India market strategy is, that we are going to be appointing two kinds of partners. One is we are looking for the CNF partners, those who have previous experience in importing and warehousing and distribution. So we have divided that CNF requirement into 6 major areas, basically the port cities to cover up, because India being a large country. And then city-wise, we will have cluster franchisee partners. So one franchisee partner would be responsible to open 5 units in there. And that's what we call a cluster franchisee. Definitely, they can take more than 5 units, because as in the next slide you will see, or in the next presentation by Mr. Ashok, you will see that the percentage and the margin and the chances of earning is quite high, and it's quite a profit earning this thing. So as I said, 6 CNF partners, and then the cluster franchises. Cluster franchises are divided into city-wise, and big cities like metro cities are divided into areas of west, north, east. So everybody has an opportunity, because as far as, if I say the number of kiosks, we are looking of minimum 200 plus kiosks over a period of next 3 years. But of course, it will be done area by area development, so that every kiosk can be serviced well, and every partner has the great potential to earn. Mr. Ashok, over to you for the financials, please.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Anupam. I think financial projections, I think, very low investment opportunity, because if you like start one kiosk, hardly it's a 5 to 6 lakh rupees kind of investment for the franchisee. And if you look at the per unit franchisee fee is very low, it's $2,000, that translate to like 1.6 lakh rupees. But we are looking for multi-unit partners, cluster partners. So their investment is going to be around 40 to 45 lakh rupees. And he has to set up 5 units. So that is the basically the investment. And my cluster partner, he can basically recover his entire money in 18 to 20 months. Right. All right. Now, if we come to the CNF partners, yes, of course, as Anupam said, like we are looking for 6, 7 CNF partners. So for CNF partners, again, franchisee fee is a very nominal. It's a kind of brand registration fee, plus 1 crore of like inventory deposit. So again, so this business, against that inventory of 1 CR, my franchisee get 1 container of 15,000 kg of products, right? So, and that one container can serve at least 5 units. And once we have like more units, so my franchise, this CNF partner, they can import more containers. So if they serve like 10 containers, sorry, if they serve like 10 units, they need to import 2 containers. If they serve like 20 units, they need to import 4 containers. And on each and every container, my franchisee profits are going to be around 17 lakh rupees. And my franchisee responsibility here, CNF partner responsibility, basically he need to supply the stock to the multi-unit partners. So very easy business. Even if my franchise CNF partner just import 1 container and just distribute to the franchisee units, he recovers his entire investment in 6 to 8 months. Yeah, Shayoni, we can take up the queries now.
I think we had a question around financials, and that is very well answered already. If there will be any more coming up, I'll surely share this with Anupamji and Lisa. And of course, you.
Thank you, Sayoni.
Very well then. Okay, moving on to the next. We would like to welcome Mr. Gary Stone from Good Call LLC, which is a phone trading platform with AI technology, a company based out in Utah, USA, with respect to India expansion plan. Over to you, Mr. Gary.
Thank you. I'm located in Texas, so I guess I'd say good morning to everybody. For some of you, I guess it's good evening and maybe good afternoon. But as mentioned, I'm a managing partner of a company called Good Call LLC. We're headquartered in Salt Lake City, Utah, in the United States. Now, historically, our company has participated in 2 segments of the used phone market: phone repair, and then buying and selling of used phones. And originally, we were an operating company. I think we're a little bit different than some of the other companies you're used to hearing about. We're now more of a software-centric company. And in India, our strategy is to focus on the used phone market, one of those 2 segments. We think there's a unique opportunity in India as an underdeveloped used phone market for the unique software that we've developed that considerably speeds up the actions in terms of buying and selling phones, used phones, and it's also very cost effective. It will save our potential customers a lot of money, and I'll describe that a little bit later. So we can move on to the next slide. So let me try to tell you a little bit about the used phone industry. It's a very, very young global industry. Started United States and Europe. Really, there wasn't much activity until about 2006, 2007, when the iPhone came out. So it's a very young industry, but it's already a $50 billion industry globally, and it's expected to double over the next 5 years to about $100 billion industry. So it's a huge opportunity in a growing overall market. We feel there's tremendous potential for the used phone business in India. Over that time frame, we think there'll be a minimum of 50 million used phones bought and sold, and it'll become about a $15 billion industry in India just over the next 5 years. And one of the reasons we're targeting India is we've got a lot of experience in North America and Europe, and India and most of Asia is probably 5 to 10 years behind in terms of the relative size of the market, but the growth potential is tremendous, and partially because there's just benefits for everyone in the used phone markets. I don't know if any of you have ever bought a used phone, but generally you can buy a highly functional device for 60 or 70% of a new phone price, and it's going to do the exact same thing as a new phone. If it's a fully functional refurbished phone, it could almost look like new and act like new, but it costs a lot more, and it allows folks in lower to middle income income ranges to be able to afford more functional phones at a lower cost. And there's not only is there benefits to customers, but there's tremendous benefits to mobile phone providers. Mobile phone providers that are buying and selling phones. Basically, when you trade in a phone, you're putting cash in your customers' hands, and that allows them to spend money in your stores, or if you're online operation online. Also, a lot of mobile phone companies and mobile phone carriers, especially in North America, where warranty programs are generally across the board. Those companies, as they're buying used phones, they can repurpose those phones into their warranty programs and save considerable amounts of money, as opposed to buying new phones. My original company, we've originally set up Sprint's used phone program back in 2010. In the first year, they saved $1 billion by not having to buy new phones for their warranty programs. And then companies that sell used phones, or where the margins are considerably higher on the sale of used phones versus new phones. And then not only does it make a lot of economic sense, but it's a very green strategy. It recycles products that would generally go into landfill. So it's a very green strategy. We look at the used phone business as a economic win and a green win and a customer win. So you can go on to the next slide. So let me tell you a little bit about our company and our people. Basically, our company was founded in 2016, but it actually was a merger of two companies. One company that was in the phone repair business, another company that was in the used phone business. So those two companies had been in existence for about 5 years. So the origin of the company goes back all the way to about 2009, 2010. We were an operator at that time, and we were repairing phones. We were also buying and selling used phones. In the repair business, we developed really strong relationships through our supply chain in China, and spent a lot of time in China, and came to the conclusion after numerous trips over there that market was considerably behind the United States in terms of phone repair, retail phone repair, and the entire used phone business. And so in 2019, we entered Beijing in the phone repair business, and we put repair kiosks inside a mobile phone retailer that had 100 stores. And we started operating that business. And after about a year, at the end of 2019, the owner of that business knew that we had a lot of experience in the used phone business, and they asked us to develop a used phone program for them in Beijing. Unfortunately, as we were starting all this, COVID hit China and kind of really slowed us down. And it took us, a couple of years to fully develop the trade-in business there, mainly because China was shut down, as you're all aware, and we couldn't travel over there. We're finally at the point now where we're getting ready to expand out of Beijing in China. The one significant benefit we've got from COVID slowing us down was it allowed us to spend more time developing unique software solutions to some of the major issues that we saw with companies that we'd worked for, who had attempted to buy used phones. So, but I'll tell you a little bit about this more, but we've got a very unique application. We think we're possibly the only ones in the world that have these particular software applications that automates the testing and the pricing of used phones to eliminate employee error. So we have testing and pricing apps that can be downloaded directly onto a customer's phone. So this application will go down on a phone, and an in-store employee or even a customer can run through a series of tests to fully evaluate their phones. Then we also have a full suite of software that enables the entire used phone buy, sell, trade transaction, and we have inventory management and accounting systems. So a lot of companies have those software products. What's unique about us are the applications that allow us to automatically test phones and to evaluate the condition of phones without employees having to make decisions. So in terms of who we are, we've got three principals in the company. And amongst us, we have over 45 years in the used phone business. Given that it's only an industry that's 17 or 18 years old, we've got as much experience in this business on a global basis as anybody. We've operated in the United States. We operate in China. We also operated in Europe. Trevor, who's the founder of the repair part of the company, has developed our applications, has developed our systems and processes to enable companies to buy and sell phones. Joe Malone has over 20 years of experience in buying and selling used phones on the wholesale and retail level. And then my related experience was that I was one of the founding members of a company called FIHL in the United States back in 2009. And we actually developed the trade-in programs for the three largest U.S. carriers, Sprint, AT&T, and Verizon. And to give you an idea of how dynamic this business was in the United States back then, in our first year of operation, we did $1 million in revenue. In our fifth year of operation, we did $350 million in revenue. So this really exploded in the United States from about 2009 to about 2014 or 15. And it's still a growing business there, but doesn't have quite the growth now that India potential has. So we can go on to the next slide. So let's talk a little bit about our technology and why we think we're different. There's some significant barriers for retailers, especially, to get into the used phone business to actually buy phones from their customers. First is that trade-in adds another step to the store process, requires training, and it could take up to 15 minutes or even longer to complete. And any of you that have been in operations know that operators do not like to add processes to what they're already doing, especially to their core business. So it can take a lot of time. And equally important is that the way the industry works now is that a store employee has to manually test all the functions and assets and assess the condition of the phones and the housing, and make a decision about every aspect of a phone in order to figure out what the pricing will be. And historically, and I've had a lot of experience in this has resulted in significant overpayments. So retailers are hesitant to get into this business because it adds time, and if you don't do it right, it can cost you a lot of money. So, but as I mentioned, as we entered China, we assessed that situation, and we developed two unique applications that fully automate the testing and assessment process. So our process can be done in less than 2 minutes versus 15. One of our competitors in China, they actually have to make a phone call to get pricing, and it could take 30 minutes, and they pretty much went out of business because it took too long, and we took over that business. So the results of our test of these phones is it's fed into a database which provides the exact pricing for a phone based upon the condition, and it doesn't rely upon a store employee to determine what the condition of the phone is and what the price will be, and the employee can't really override that. Now, our application can reside upon a store's point-of-sale system, but can also be downloaded onto any phone. So a company that's an online company that's buying phones online could theoretically download our application to a customer in his house, and it's easy to use. That customer can go through and do an assessment of that phone, and that online company will have a much better idea of the real condition of the phone. And then, in addition to these specific unique tests, we also have a full suite of software that enables the whole buy-sell transaction side, inventory management, accounting. So this is a busy slide, but basically our automatic testing has 23 separate tests that it goes through in about 2 minutes, and then there's a second application to evaluate the condition of the housing of the phone. And in that application, we take 3 pictures of the phones. It's input into a database which has thousands of pictures of phones, and it comes up with an accurate assessment of the phone, as opposed to having a inexperienced store employee try to determine what the actual condition of the phone is, whether it's an A condition, B condition, or C condition. So let me just give you, why getting just some numbers around why getting an accurate cost of a phone when somebody's trying to buy a phone makes a big difference. And I'll use an example of say an iPhone 13, a regular iPhone 13, which in China anyway, in dollars we would buy for about $400 if it was in good condition. But if an employee rates the phone in good condition and the phone doesn't turn on, we've overpaid for that phone by about $180. If employee rates it as an A condition phone and it's really a C condition phone, we've overpaid for that phone by $50. If the employee doesn't recognize the model, which our process recognizes the model, and they think it's they say it's an iPhone 14, that could cost $150. So when you're doing when we started this business out in the United States with Sprint as our first customer, when they were getting 3 to 5 million phones a year, and they were having 20 to 30% error rate, those dollars really added up. And that's why we think the products that we've developed are critical for anyone that's really trying to enter this business. Or in India, there's a number of folks online. There's a number of companies that do this at retail, but nobody has this capability. They're all relying upon employees to determine the condition of the phone. So in terms of our strategy, who we're targeting in India, we've got about 4 or 5 segments. First would be the mobile phone manufacturers and the mobile phone carriers. Secondly, would be the national and large regional mobile phone retailers in India. Some of them do buy back phones, and some of them don't. None of them, as far as we know, have technology anything like what we've developed. There's also a number of, as you're probably aware, online companies that are pretty sophisticated, but do not have this particular technology that could be downloaded onto their potential customer's phone. Companies that are in the phone repair and refurbishment business, and then software companies that deal with these companies are also potential customers. So as I mentioned, we're more of a software-centric company at this point. We think we have a product that has significant benefits for consumers and retailers alike, and we believe that India is a large market with right now close to 1 billion smartphones, with tremendous growth opportunity in this segment. So with that, I'll ask if anybody has any questions.
Gary, I would so there's a question around AI technology. So the question says, how is your AI technology different from your existing platforms? I'm sure you've explained this, but can you just run through this again?
Yeah, the piece of our technology that's I would call AI technology is the technology we have to evaluate the exterior condition of the phone, the housing. And basically, we've developed an AI software application that's similar to facial recognition. So it's been trained to recognize flaws in a phone. And in order to do that, we had to develop significant algorithms. We had to there's numerous different types of defects that can be found on a phone, and you can also get false positives if you don't do it right. So it's taken us a good year or more than a year to develop that software, and it's software that gets smarter all the time. The more phones that we put into our system, the more pictures we put into our system, the smarter it gets. And again, the objective is it's the most subjective part for anyone to evaluate a phone that doesn't have a lot of experience, is to really evaluate whether it's an A condition, B condition, or a C condition. I think you're on mute.
You are mute.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So I also would want you to run through again about your diagnostic tool that's going to remove the human error. How exactly?
Well, basically, you can download it onto your phone, and it walks either a store employee or a customer through just a series of tests, most of which are done automatically. And if it doesn't pass one of the tests, an error comes up, goes into the system, and the system has a pricing matrix that will be tied into the total results of the tests. It takes about 2 minutes, and it's fully automatic, and the application runs through test by test by test.
Got you.
So, for instance, you test the microphones, you test the camera, you test the surface, you test whether it turns on, you test the battery, and there's about 10 other tests.
Fair enough. Okay. I think that should be enough for now. More questions, if that comes in, I'll absolutely send it to Rohit and you. And obviously, we will connect the people to you directly.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate the time.
Thank you so
much. Shayoni. So I would like to add here, like if you look at the Indian used phone resale market, it's a very big market in India, and this market is heavily like unorganized. Even if you go to like exchange your phone is basically considered at a dust price, and in some good store you will get a higher value, but the purchaser who is basically trading these phones can make a mistake. So there is no diagnostic tool. Yes, a few players in India, they are trying to develop these kind of like applications and diagnostic tools to evaluate the price, but these are not for the price perspective. They are just looking for the repair and maintenance perspective. So they check the physical damage or physical fault on the system. So they are not mainly focused on like to trade and accurate price calculation perspective. So this is the very unique positioning, and a lot of like platforms in India who are trading these kind of phones. So this is a very good, excellent value for the customer. So customer can himself check what is the best price for my cell phone, right? And somebody's like buying used phone online or from any platform, he can see like, oh, this phone is already authentic. So the price is basically diagnosed, or you can say revaluated by good call. So they can trust, or this brings the trust factor. Plus it removes the human error to miscalculate the price for a device. Okay. So there's a very upside for this. And I think one of the slide Mr. Gary has already said, it improves basically your 25% of your profits.
Yes.
So that suggests basically the human mistakes are very high when trading these phones manually.
Yeah, it also enables if it's a retailer to buy phones at a higher price than their competitors, because they have the assurance that they're not going to have errors. I mentioned the situation we had with Sprint. The U.S. carriers back when they began doing this were discounting the price that they were buying phones back for, even if they were good phones, because they had to cover all the errors. So it provides a competitive advantage for someone to buy phones at a higher price.
Okay, and is there a number of minimum batch or number of quantities of phone that you can process in one go? I mean, if a high retailer wants to, yeah.
Well, again, we're entering from the software side, so our software can handle anything. And I've been in companies that were doing tens of thousands of phones a day.
Okay.
It's really more the working through if you're in-store processes, or the capacity for working with an online company. But that is not a issue.
Got you. Okay. Okay, I think that's enough for the day now. And thank you so much, everyone, for being here today with us for the extensive explanation of the model and the brand. And we will talk to you all soon. Thank you.